Hello everyone, welcome back to the Francis. Now today I'm going to do some fried dumpling with some callaloo and saltfish. Yes, it's for breakfast, but it's kind of past morning time now, but that's the time when I normally eat breakfast. But I'm gonna do fried dumpling. There's two type of ways that I make my fried dumpling, but I'm just gonna do the easy way first, and in another video I'm gonna do the harder one. So these are my ingredients. I have the self-rise flour, yep, and the all-purpose flour, yes. So I'm going to use both flour and my evap milk and some lactate whole milk. And you know, for my saltfish and callaloo, the Linseed Market callaloo, and I'm going to use the saltfish. This saltfish, I don't even know where it came from, but this is the one that I normally use. This one, the tropical. And I have my onion, some bell pepper, and my scallion. Unfortunately, my tomato is finished, so I'm gonna improvise. But you'll see me when I start. So I just put my saltfish in some water. I'm gonna boil it off. There we go. I boil it off like 2-3 times just to get the salt off it. But it's up to you whether you like it salt or you like it just normal. But I normally boil it off like 2-3 times. And then I'm going to start preparing my flour. Okay, let's begin. Why I use the self-rise flour and the all-purpose, this already having baking powder. So when you use this, you don't have to use any baking powder. But it's too light, so I use the other flour with it. But whatever amount of self-rise flour you use, you have to use the same amount of all-purpose flour. So for today, I'm going to try to be precise as possible. I'm going to use the measuring cup, because normally I just judge my ingredient, but I'm trying to be precise as possible. So I'm going to use 4 cups of all-purpose and 4 cups of self-rise. I can't do like 1 cup because dumpling eats so fast in my house. So I'm going to use 4 cups of this and of the self-rise and 4 cups of the all-purpose. See? 4. Four cups. I already washed my hands. So you mix the flour together. Make sure you mix it in properly. So both flour is mixed together. My salt. This amount. Let me see if I can measure it in spoon and show you. As I said, I want to be precise. Like a tablespoon, but you have to measure it properly. Press it out. But if you can judge salt, you don't have to. And you mix it in. I'm gonna use like half of the tin of evaporated milk, because I don't I don't use much water to knead my flour. I use the evap and the whole milk to knead the flour. And whenever you're kneading your flour, you don't knead it too tight. You have to be very gentle when you're making dumpling because you don't want it to be hard. So there's a trick to it. Very gently. See? Off. You can feel the tin to know that it's off. And the milk now, I use like 2 cups. Normally you would warm the milk, but I had taken out the milk for a while, so it is not cold. So it's like room temperature. That's how you use your milk. Or you can warm it to hasten the process. So this is 2 cups of whole milk. See, people, it's coming together. Look. See? But it's not a process that you can rush. Like when you need flour, you're gonna be quick and all of that. No. You have to be gentle. So, you see what I said? You use the milk first, and then you'll see how much water you need. So, I'm gonna put water as needed until the flour come together. People, look at that. See? It's rising already. And look, I'm going to let it sit for about 10-15 minutes before I actually fry them. So when I start frying it, I'll come back to you guys. So I'm going to let the flour sit for a while, and then I'm going to start with my callaloo and saltfish. This is what the callaloo in the tin looks like. I'm going to drain off the water. I don't like when it's soppy. Look, see? That's better. And then you take it out of the tin. A little word of advice, people. Whenever you're cutting your tin, you cut it all the way around to take this off. Because anything can happen in the kitchen and you have an accident and they slice you. So whenever you're doing your anything in a tin, please take it off completely. I poured out my callaloo, see it right here, and I put in my seasoning in my pot. I put the seasoning in the pot. I'm gonna let it cook for a little before I put in the saltfish. The saltfish is soaking in water right now, so I'm gonna let this cook for a little, and then I put in the saltfish. And we're gonna put in the saltfish. And people, normally I season my saltfish and then I go ahead and I season the callaloo together, just so that the seasoning is soaked properly in the mix. So I'm going to use some black pepper as usual. And I can't leave out my Old Bay seasoning. And some accent seasoning. And please, you don't need much seasoning. See? This is the saltfish. Alright, I'm going to put in the callaloo now. So you pour a little accent seasoning on this. A little black pepper. And a little of the Old Bay. And of course, a little Maggi. The bulk Maggi. Yes, they do sell it in bulk. I'm going to mix it in. Let me turn on my flame. If you know what you're doing, the tin callaloo tastes just like the other one. If you know how to cook it. A lot of people say it don't taste the same, but if you know what you're doing, it will. Let's taste. Oh my God. This is so good. I'm going to turn down my fire a little, cover it, and let it like give it like about 2 minutes, and that's it. Because the callaloo is already cooked in the tin. So I'm going to give it 2 minutes and then I take it off. Okay? Okay, viewers, let's check the pot. And this is finished. Let's turn it off. Look at that. Callaloo and saltfish. This is done. Wow. You want to smell it? Oh my God. This is good. Real good. Not because I cook it. It's good. Okay, let's this stay for a little. Alright people, check in. This is the pot that I'm going to fry the dumpling in. You have to use a deep pot. And you're going to use a lot of oil. So if you don't have a lot of oil, don't fry the dumpling, because your dumpling is supposed to be covered in the oil. And you know you can use bad oil when you're finished. Okay. See the oil that I use? Look at that. That's the amount of oil that I'm going to use. I'm going to allow the oil to hot. And then we start. Make our dumpling and put it in. Okay? Okay, viewers, check in. Look. It's set. See? See how it rips? See? Very light. I usually make some small dumplings. Like this. You can make it any way you want it. It's for your belly, not for show. When you're making it, you will hear that hollow sound. Then you know that whatever you put in your dumpling, it's good. The consistency is good. You hear that hollow sound when you're making it. Yeah. And I gone ahead and make some already. So I'm going to start putting it in my oil. I think my oil is hot already. Let's see. Yep. Let's put in our dumplings. I haven't made this dumpling in a while, because my daughter likes the dumpling that you roll and you can put like corned beef and whatever in it. But when I'm making the other type of fried dumpling, I'll show you. Because this one, as I said before, is an easier way of making fried dumpling. You don't really have to be saying, oh, how many baking powder I have to put in or whatever. Because you already know that you're using the all-purpose flour and the self-rise flour. So let's turn our fire down. Once it's hot, the pot is hot, you turn down your flame. I'm gonna make some more dumpling and put in. When I put in the amount of dumplings that I want in the pot, like look at this. I put the amount of dumplings that I want in the pot. I'm going to cover it so it can soak. Okay? Alright people, let's check the pot. Ooh, look at that. Remember, when you're frying dumpling and using milk, you have to turn down the flame really low because milk tends to burn easily when you put it in flour. So look at that. Look at this pretty color. Yep. Look at that. Look at the dumplings. Yep. They're coming on nicely. Almost done. Almost ready to take out the first set. Look at that. Alright, let's give them about another 2 more minutes and we'll take them out. Alright people, the dumpling is ready to take out. Ooh, look at that. Somebody's coming to dinner. Ooh. Aren't they pretty? Wow. Look at that. Pretty and golden. Yep, we're going to put in the next set now. Alright, catch me when I put it in, okay? Alright people, I've gone ahead and put in the other set. Look at that, see? Put in the other set. I made some little roly rolls for my daughter because she don't really like fried dumpling this way, as I told you. So I make a little roly roll for her. Look at that. Yep. You hear how light it is? Normally people say you feel how light it is, but somehow by hearing this, you know that it's very light. Hear there. Hear that sound? Okay. Very light. Alright, let's cover the pot. Our pots for the second set of dumpling. Golden. Look at that. Let's turn it over. So you want your dumpling to soak. So they're floating very light. There we go. And you cover back your pot. Give it about 2 more or 3 more minutes and we take it out. Okay people, let's take out the second set. Look at that. Look at my little roly for my daughter. Oh my God. Look at this. Alright, we're going to put in the final set. And I decided to make the final set. These little roll up. There we go. Check in people. I'm trying to roll up. Half. Oh nice. Okay. Soak. That's what you want. There is no right way or wrong way how you make your dumpling. The only thing you're concerned about is that the dumpling is soaked and cooked inside. That's the most important thing. So you don't want to fry your dumpling on a high flame, because therefore it will fry outside and don't fry inside. So you got to be careful. That's the important thing. Well, it's good. Check in, my viewers. We're finished, and this is the finished product. Look at that. Look at that. So if you want to learn to fry dumplings, an easy way, if you don't know how to judge your baking powder and whatever, you can do it like this. I guarantee that it will turn out good. Just be careful, as I said, of your salt. Just like how I measure it, you measure your salt. So if you're going to do the 4 cup, as I say, 4 cup of all-purpose, 4 cup of the self-raised flour, use the 1 tablespoon. Make sure you flatten the tablespoon. Flatten it. You don't want no extra or whatever. But if you can judge salt, fine. Say for instance you're going to do 2 cups of each, you do half amount of salt. So I try to measure it as best as I can for you. So catch me when I plate this with my callaloo and saltfish. Have it with some hot chocolate. Okay? Right, people, that's the final product. Fried dumpling with callaloo and saltfish. Yeah. And my hot chocolate. See? And my hot chocolate. That's the final product. So people, if you want to fry your dumpling and you're not sure about the amount of baking powder you're using, remember, self-raised flour, all-purpose flour. You mix together. Any amount of all-purpose flour you use, that's the same amount of self-rising flour you use. You cannot go wrong. Remember to judge your salt. You have to remember high blood pressure. You don't want no high blood pressure. So remember to judge your salt correctly. And your saltfish and your callaloo. Good. My dumpling. Yeah. And look on the inside of the big dumpling. I forgot to show you. Look at that. All cooked. All spongy. See? Yeah. And my hot chocolate. Wonderful. So people, before I go, because my phone is running out of charge, I'm asking if you could like, share, and subscribe. I realize people are watching, but they're not subscribing. I don't know, it's because the channel is new, but I can assure you it's a clean channel. You'll get good contents, so you can go ahead and subscribe. And I like to thank my viewers and my subscriber from America and from Israel. Can you imagine? My video is going to Israel and people are subscribing from Israel and also viewing it from Israel. So I want to give them a big thanks, a big shout out, a big Jamaican big up for subscribing and for liking and for sharing. Thank you so much. So for now, for my fried dumpling and my callaloo and saltfish, catch you next time in another video. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Catch you. Them